Former Liberal Democrat leader Nick Clegg and Conservative former Minister Anna Soubry have said they're willing to work with Tony Blair as they continue to campaign against a hard Brexit. Mr Clegg revealed he's already held discussions with the former Prime Minister about Brexit, while Ms Soubry declared, "We will work with anybody." The pair are teaming up with senior Labour MP Anna to call for Britain to stay in the European single market in what Mr Clegg deemed a cross-party anti-hard Brexit insurgency. Well, let's speak now to the Conservative MP and former Business Minister Anna Soubry, who's part of that pro-European lobbying group Open Britain. And do you agree with that opening sentence that you will work with anybody, including Tony Blair?
Yeah, I'll work with anybody to get the best deal for our country. I do find it rather bizarre that your headline is we've said we'll work with Tony Blair. I just thought that seems to be a very strange thing to take from what has been a very good debate about whether or not we should stay as a member of the single market. And I think that's the real issue, which hopefully will excite and interest your viewers.
Well, the reason we mentioned Tony Blair, and it's interesting, Anna said he couldn't work with Tony Blair because the former Prime Minister wants to reverse Brexit or hold a second referendum.
Well, then I agree with Chuka. Look, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I haven't come on to talk about Tony Blair, for goodness sakes. I've come on to talk about why I believe the best deal we can get for our country is by remaining a member of the single market. And I'd love the opportunity to explain to people why I think that.
I'm giving it to you right now.
Excellent. Well, I mean, the thing about the single market is that we know that across all sectors of the British economy, it means that we could trade in a way that really does benefit our country. It extends beyond the EU. It includes other countries. And it means that we trade, obviously, without tariffs, but we also trade with complete freedom. So we don't have customs, we don't have lots of red tape and stuff that gets in the way. And for a number of British businesses, it also means that they have those supply chains. So bits and parts and components move very freely across all the members of the single market. And over the years, that has undoubtedly been a major contribution to why we're the fifth largest economy.
So you would be in agreement with those European leaders who are saying when it comes to negotiations, actually freedom of movement and single market, they are the same sentence?
Yes, and I don't have a problem with that because I'm a firm believer in the free movement of people as part of being in the single market. And I very much want to make the case positively for immigration. And I think that, again, when we have a good, open, robust debate in our country about immigration, where people can speak freely, whatever their views may be, then I think we will persuade people that actually immigration is good. And it's, in particular, we need it for British business because we've almost got full employment. So the simple thing is we reduce immigration.
But aren't you rerunning the whole Brexit debate?
No,
Didn't we discuss all this before June 23rd, and haven't the voters agreed that actually immigration is an issue and they want to be able to control it?
No, we did not debate immigration. Lots of people definitely had conversations, but they were in a vacuum. So people like me who positively believe in the positive benefits of immigration, our voices were never heard. We've never had that debate for decades in our country. What we've heard about are people's concerns. I agree with you. I don't doubt that people have concerns. But I think when you have that rigorous debate, an honest debate, when you look at the figures, when you explain to people that we now have almost full employment in our country, and quite simply, if we reduce the number of people coming here to work, who is going to do the jobs? Who is going to do the work? We can upskill and we can train more people, I don't doubt that, but we're almost at full employment in our country. And if you go in, as I have done and continue to do in businesses in my own constituency and across the country, and you talk to British business, they will talk to you about the real benefits of having that free movement of workers.
But forgive me, because we did discuss this endlessly before the vote.
I'm so sorry, but we did not have a robust debate about immigration. People like me who believe in the positive benefits of immigration have never, ever made the case for it. That has never been done. In the debate about the EU, yes, people were having their own conversations, but the positive case was never made. And we now
well, isn't that your fault? Isn't that the fault of people?
Can I make it very clear?
But you didn't make the case. You lost that.
We are going to leave the EU. This is not a rerun of that debate. It's about how do we now get the best deal for our country. I've said I will vote for Article 50 to trigger us leaving the EU. I accept the result.
If Tony Blair says we should have a second referendum, Sir John Major too, would you back them?
No, I don't think we need a second referendum. I didn't think John Major had said that, actually. I'm not interested in what I'm not being rude to Tony Blair. I'm really not interested in what Tony Blair said. Well, it's a value, of course, and it's a free country, so people are entitled to say what they want. I don't think that's what this is about. This is about making the case for the single market, which does include the free movement of people. And it's things like people have made the mistake of thinking that people who are in Calais, or they were in Calais, the refugees, is the same as the free movement of people coming here to work. They're completely separate issues. Those are refugees fleeing from war-torn countries. I'm talking about that free movement between people in the single market that is so good for British business. They want that free movement of labour because they need it, because we have almost full employment in our country.